Hey everybody, in this video I want to show you the newest features on firmware 1.06 on the BEHRINGER wing here. I've got the patch notes pulled up here, so let's get started. I'm going to jump around, just move right down the list so we don't miss anything here. So, first things first on the list is metering on all routing pages indicate raw input signals. Okay, so on the routing here, you can see we've got metering here on this AES box that I'm coming into for this microphone. And this is the new page here. So you always had your inputs and your outputs, but we'll get back to that. Second thing is bus to bus mixing. All buses can send into buses 1 through 8. Okay, so let's jump over to bus. So for this test here, bus 9, I made a reverb, and I believe I do have it on this microphone that I'm using here. And well, you can see this stuff here. Okay, so if we're selected on this bus here, you're going to go to the left, the bottom is the farthest down box here, and you can see now we can send this bus to any of the first buses along with the matrices here. So we should be able to hear this if I turn this up here. Test, test. Actually, we've got a solo this bus here. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. So you can see now we can send reverb to a monitor mix without burning a channel. You used to just have to burn one of these channels and send the bus to one of these channels, then to the monitor mix. Now you don't have to do that, so that's a really nice feature. Moving along here, let's just go to number 2, delay for main buses. So I'm over here off the screen. I'm going to select my main left and right, as you can see in the top left there. And on the second box down, after the home, you now have delay here. Okay, and it goes all the way to 300 whatever feet. Gives you milliseconds there, gives you meters on there, so you got 3 measurements there, so that's very helpful. And what do we got? Pre-post selection for bus to bus. Oh, and bus to main. Okay, so let's go back to what I just showed you. Bus to bus here. Okay, we're on bus 9 here, so you can make this pre or post along with these matrix sends and the bus to main. So if we go back to the main here, or the matrix sends, you can make these matrix sends that go to the LR pre or post fader as well. Effects parameters can now be assigned to faders. Effects. Okay, so that's under the user layer. I'm going to pan this down so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So over here, we're going to go to user layer 1, and I've already assigned these right here. So now you see I've selected that. Let's just go back up a little bit. Sorry, this is not the best setup, but okay, you're going to want to hold this view button by the scribble strips, press and hold, and now you're on the user assign function. Let me just go back up here. Okay, so you have always had bus channels to bus sends, so you could turn up and down what you're sending a vocal to a reverb or something like that, but now you can do these effects here. So this part's the new one. As you can see, I've already put this harmonizer that I've got going, so let's see if we can.
So there's that. Oh, you can't see these faders are moving.
So yeah, these 2 faders are made that harmonizer effect, and then this one I believe is a reverb channel, and then I got the delay here. So you can now assign any parameter, and let me just show you real quick as well. So you just click effects and click any of your 16. Remember, you have 16 effects in the effects racks. Click any of those, and now you can grab any of the parameters, and you just click and drag, and then you just see it just populated. But this one's off. This effect is off, so it's not gonna do anything. Here's one of the reverbs, and this is the VSS 3 reverb, and you have tons of effects or parameters you can drag down. So this thing's actually really nice and really helpful for some people. Let's keep moving on. Dynamic EQ for the gate plug-in slot. Okay, so on every channel, you know what? Let's double check the auxes. I haven't actually checked that. Auxes. Okay, wait, they don't have a gate. I forgot. So remember the aux, the last 8 channels are limited processing. But let's go to like this mic I'm using right now. And you can see I've got a cut here at like 500 hertz. And you can see it. Yeah, we can zoom in here. Kind of snapping away. So you've got attack, release, blah, blah, blah. All these things here. Different filter types and stuff. So now on every gate slot only, On channels 1 through 40, you now have a dynamic EQ option, which is really nice. So let's move on. I do have another video on that, so if you want more info on that, just go back a few videos and you should be able to get more info on that. Compressor all switch GUI, the interface there for the 76 limiter amp. Okay. Just go to this channel over 76 limiter amp. Here's your ratio here. And you used to have, what is this, 20, 12, 8, and 4. And now you have all. So if you just tap here, you get all. Or if you're controlling your ratio 4, 8, 12, 20, or all. So that's the compression ratio. They added that. Just a small little feature there. What else do we have? GPIO control can be assigned to custom control buttons directly. I haven't looked at this one. It's going to be over here, though. These, as you can see, it says GPIO up there. Can be assigned to custom control buttons directly. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I mean, you could always just throw something on here, you know? We're going to skip that one. I'm not quite sure what the difference is there. I thought I went through all these. Talkback can be controlled by custom controls in GPIO. Okay, so that should be here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's a GPIO slot there. So that's probably what has changed. But now you can do talkback A or B. Okay, and then over here to the left, you can't see, but this talkback button is lighting up and on and off as well. That is helpful to have those even closer now to you. RTA metering on graphic EQ effects. Okay, I think I put a graphic EQ in the mains here. Let's double check this. No, I didn't. There it is. Okay. So now that's an added feature, is that RTA on top there, which if you're doing a graphic equalizer, like, come on, it's pretty standard that you would want some RTA, because the standard, EQ has the RTA behind it. So that is nice. Moving on here, console lock function. I really like this function. So I'm going to zoom out just so you can see what's going on here. You're not going to be able to see it really. But if you press and hold home, it shows this wing. And if I move these faders, I'm gonna pan down so you can see this. I can pull all these faders down, but you can see my levels don't change. Now I'm going to go and press and hold home again, and the faders snap up. So that is really nice, honestly. If you're at doing any sort of event, you can just lock it and walk away, and people can touch whatever they want. And as long as they don't know that that's a lock button, nothing's going to change. Source assignment, mode switch, and phantom control. Oh, this is huge. So we're going to select this channel I'm using. So you could always see what source you were getting, but you couldn't click on it. You had to click input to go to the next page down. So you can now click here and just assign your channel right away, which is huge. And you have the mono, stereo, and the mid-side functionality there, which used to be in routing only. And the phantom power used to only be in routing too. When I first got this console, I could not find phantom power. It was impossible. And it made sense. You had to go to routing, and it was connected to the stage box, that you were using. But to have it right there now is huge. So those are really helpful features there. What else we got here? Source assignment, mode, switch, and phantom. Oh, we just did that one. Channel delay, move to post fader. Okay, so second box down here, you had this channel delay. It's now post fader. Whoa, okay, I forgot that would it would change. So that's now post fader. Just a small feature there. Improve customization copy during source assignment drag. Oh, okay. I think what they're talking about is this new routing page now. The customization, yeah. So that's what they're talking about. So you can customize your channel and your source individually. Or if you do all the sources or all the channels, this function here is really helpful. So I prefer the channel to source. I'm going to show you that. I have this AES channel here, and it's coming out of this one. So I have to unlock. I'm going to click the channel I want, and I want it to assign the customization to this source. And bam, is that simple. So, and you can do the vice versa, source to channel. So if you have one of these customized, you can copy it to the channel. but make sure you unlock, otherwise that won't work. USB player with song list. Okay, so USB player here, which is the USB stick right there. What is it? With song list and reordering and repeat functions. So the reordering and repeat functions, you've got repeat here, which will just move down the list, and then, oh, you can reorder. So let me drag over. Remember, so this little arrow, that's your files, that's on your thing. You can delete, you can add a folder, blah, blah, blah. You have to put them here to play. And you can hit edit here, and you can reorder them, which is nice. You can remove them, and they won't delete from there. They'll just be gone from this list. And then you can, this is also multiplay. So if you have this one selected, it will only play the track you're on. If you have this one selected, it will move through the tracks. And then you can have the repeat, which is kind of nice if you just have something that you just want to loop through. And then there's that edit. So that's what they've added, which is very helpful. Up to 4-channel USB play and record at the same time. Okay, so I did test this. You can actually play back 4 channels and record 4 channels only on USBs that are fast enough, but they don't specify the rating on that. But I'm sure it's pretty high there. USB transport buttons and custom control. This is big. So they had these buttons here, but they weren't enabled. Let me just go down here. So we're down in the custom controls here. You have this 2-track. Oops, that's sliding down for you. 2-track transport. So if you click that, you now, I thought my screen was sliding again. You now have stop, play, previous, next, and then record. You can actually stop and record or add a new file as well. And if you're here and you press and hold, or sorry, you just actually have to tap that, and you'll get to your screen up here. So that's really nice that that button's now enabled. It was just there before and it didn't do anything. So that's helpful. Next thing, USB transport buttons in custom control section. Okay, so I'm going to select the custom controls up here and USB playback and record. So that function they already built in, you can just re-add to these other custom controls if you'd like. You have that option. Just a few more things here. New routing page, which we've already been to a few times now. Let me just zoom in so you guys can see what's going on here, though. And this new routing page is huge. So you had this originally just inputs and outputs. Now you have this, and it just changes the game. The main and alternate input of each channel, and just to be able to basically go through and see where you're getting stuff from, you know, and it tells you where it's coming from quickly. The functionality there is definitely was needed. So I'm glad that came out. Oh, firmware update from a USB drive as well. So this USB drive you see, or you've already seen here, you can now update from it. It used to only be able to be a computer. Now it's from here. So you need to go to setup. When you have this USB drive in with the file on it, go to update on the console here. And you can see it's seen the folders that are already on that, but I don't have it on there. You would click the file, hit update. And one thing to keep in mind in the notes here is that you can actually have both files, so you can have old firmware and new firmware, and it will read the latest, but it's just best to just delete the old firmware off the file, so it only has one to read. And then a couple more features here. Increased USB compatibility, random send on faders bug fixed, which I didn't have that issue when you hit the send on faders button, certain faders wouldn't move. Increased stability of the USB player recorder. I never had problems with that. And then general GUI workflow bug fixes and enhancements. So there you guys go. Sorry that was longer than expected, but that's all the features they have in firmware 1.06. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.